What's going on YouTube? Let's talk about the immigration in Europe thing now. Because you understand that Europe has now had massive numbers of immigrants coming from the Middle East and all these parts of the world that basically now are creating a new Europe. So what we got to understand is the terrorists in the Middle East want to displace everybody out of the Middle East into Europe and other places so they can make every other country a Muslim country. That's what they really want. Now, with Europe, you're having most of the Muslims that moved into that part of the world that don't support Sharia. They want to have freedom and all this stuff, but you have that problematic small number out of the population that everybody's got to watch out for that contaminates the rest because they start abusing the moderate Muslims, and they're not people that are hurting anybody. They're the ones that want to do all this wacky stuff and attack other people out of their culture, and they want to push Sharia to give arbitrarity in a justice system that can let you treat anybody who's not Muslim like garbage. And then they say, oh, that's not a Muslim person. They have to have all these eyewitnesses to prove this or that. And they want to create an arbitrary justice system. And they want to go out there and own those countries and change them completely for their own gain. And the thing about it is that you understand the immigration in Europe is changing the tide here. Now, the extremists like the Saudis and the Iranians want this proxy war and to displace people into Europe too, and they want to try and fight over control in the Middle East, which is where we didn't realize the tinderbox of the Middle East really was, and that we were going to have the sectarian thing. And now with the immigration factor, immigration works when you have people that are consensually, culturally accepting of the other country, where they're good citizens, they immigrate, they become a good citizen of the country, and they become part of the culture. If people don't want to assimilate or have any association with the people in the country and they start treating them like they're not part of their country, or more importantly, like they own the country, it becomes a problem. And then all these people talk all this garbage. Infidel, well, let's look at infidel. You're not considering yourselves part of that country that you moved to. You just want to go to Sweden so you can get all this welfare money and all this trash, but then you keep in kids on welfare conditions and not trying to teach them any values. Instead, you're teaching them to hate and getting them to bully the native kids in the country. That's a problem. You're going out there, breaking up your family, letting them, pretending like you need all this welfare, and then using your dad to get all this money smuggled in and from Germany, and you're sitting there in Sweden sucking up the services, and you're like dividing up the family to look like a welfare person. That's a problem. Because, see, that's cheating the system. And, see, that's not consensual immigration. And a lot of the situations in Europe are where the people have not considered themselves part of the country, which is a big problem because countries have let them in with the promise of giving them welfare. And next thing you know it, they're going to be paying this bill for all these the immigrants that have heavy bills of everything from medical to health care to food to housing, and it's going to be a huge bill for everybody else. And eventually they won't be able to afford that. So, the immigration in Europe is one of those things that you've got to be careful that you have a good immigration policy of integration and assimilation and tolerance, because those are the things with diversity you have to have inclusion. So, hope this helps.